he's giving me. And I really want to read that book, but then I don't read it. And I always tried to figure out why her mom hated her so me from, but with like supernatural and charm. And feel like egging her on, like, yes, you go, girl. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Marquita Lachey. If you are new here, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and share this video if you like it. So today, I know I am so behind in videos, but today's video is gonna be my December wrap up because we're at the end, guys. Woo! We're finally at the end of this year, and it's a new year about to start. Today is New Year's Eve, and I felt like it was the perfect time to talk about the books that I read in December. And I actually think I was supposed to tell you about the books I read in November too, but I don't know. I don't know what I read. I know that this month was probably pretty short based off of I was in a funk because I probably read too many Christmas books. Like, I didn't even get through my whole Christmas catalog because they became too much, and I already knew that was going to happen. I enjoyed the stories that I did read for Christmas. Like, they were giving me all the feels in the beginning, but then I was like, I'm kind of tired of Christmas books during the middle of the month. So we're just going to talk about the books that I read. Give me one second. Let me grab my Kindle. All the book that I read over here. Okay, let's start with our physical copies. I do believe I read this book this month. My months are like, they're all discombobulated right now. But I think I read It Ends With Us because we've been doing reading vlogs about this book all month. So yeah, I definitely read this book. I have not organized this, guys. I just hopped on camera, so bear with me. This is an unorganized, chaotic video of my December wrap up off the dome. So read It Ends With Us. I cannot tell you guys. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about what I thought of it because I have not posted the video that was supposed to go before this one of me watching the movie and my reactions and then wrapping it up with the book. But I absolutely love this freaking book so freaking much. Now, while I was down in the beginning of this book, I can say by the end of it, I was very joyful and very proud of her, like cheerful, like egging her on, like, yes, you go, girl. You deserve to tell that man exactly how you feel because he tried to play in your face. That's what he tried to do anyway. But yeah, the book at the end just had me so elated. I'm telling you, I was so rooting for her to get through this, but at the same time, I'm like trying to reason, trying to reason with him like she was trying to reason with him. Like, it gave all the feels. Like, Colleen, she knows how to write a story and pull it out of you to make you feel like you're right next to, like, I'm empathizing so much with this woman, Lily, and what she's going through, and I'm going through it with her, with this man. Like I said, it had me teary-eyed by the end of this book. Like, I hate that I waited so long to read it, but everything about this book was wonderful, and it's not wonderful in a good way. It's like, I'm so glad that she is showcasing this, and this book right here might help so many women just by picking up a book. And people are always acting like you can't get anything out of books like these, and I just feel like you can get so much out of a fiction book. You don't just have to read self-help. You don't have to read only nonfiction. Like, this book, if you were going through something and you picked this book up and you were going through things similar than her, I feel like this will give you the strength to help you process what you're going through, to know that you are not weak, but you are strong. And it might even give you the strength to be able to leave, to stop and break the curse of generations after generations making the same mistakes, because it's hard. And I could go on and on about this book, but Lily and what is Venice's name now? Rowan? Is that his name? Not Rowan. Where is Rowan from? I don't know. Rao. Like, Rao could have been perfect. He could have been everything, and a lot of people stay stuck on what could have been or who you could be, or trying to change someone and hoping that they might be that someday. And we couldn't do that with him. And it sucks because he could be a good person, but he needs help. And nobody's going to wait on him to get help. Especially not while Atlas is right there, honey. He's already ready to go. what we waiting on him for when we got Atlas. Atlas is perfect. Atlas is everything. Atlas is the man, the homeless guy that I have ever seen that I wanted to have in my life. Atlas is that dude. Honestly, like, he's everything to me at this point. Just watching his growth and what he went through and the destruction of being homeless and being able to build himself up from that, and finding out about his lowest points and how Lily helped him overcome those moments. Like, this is a 5-star, guys. Let's stop talking about it already and pick it up if you haven't, because this is a 5-star. Let's move on, because, oh, that book got me. And I got a new Kindle for Christmas. My husband got me this one, and I've already decorated it. And he got me so many stickers, but yeah. It's the matcha, it's the basic, and I'm loving it. It's so tiny. I actually love that it's little, because I have small hands, so this is perfect for me. But we're gonna go through some books that I read. I'm trying to remember them. I probably won't get this out until tomorrow. Yeah, it'll be out on New Year's, most likely. I'm just letting you guys know. These are my non-Christmas books that I read this month, because I told you I had to get out pilot mode, or whatever, jet lag, airplane mode, whatever you call it. Okay, Heart of a Champion. Now this book, who is this by? Donia, something like that. You'll see it. Okay, so this book, I was not expecting, like, I've been putting off reading this book. I'll go back and forth for months, and I'll be like, oh, I really want to read that book, but then I don't read it, and I don't buy it, but I'm like, oh, I kind of really want to read this book, because the title just kept catching me, and the synopsis, and then finally, I decided, let's just go ahead and pull the plug. I don't know if that's the right words to use for that, because that's kind of bad to pull a plug, but let's pull this ingrown hair. I don't know, guys, but this book was pretty amazing. Like, pretty freaking amazing. Like, Heart of a Champion, I thought this book was about a fight. Even reading the synopsis, I don't know why, but I just kept thinking that this book was about a woman fighter falling in love. This is not about that at all. Not at all. Sapphira and Troy. This is the best friends to lovers romance I have read. I can say that you could feel the tension in their love for each other throughout the very beginning of the book. So Sapphira, I can't say Sapphira that well, so if I trip up on her, I'm sorry. But Sapphira, like, that's a very unique name, and I have never heard that before. But she's a very independent, strong woman, and she is also a fashion designer, and she's now opening up her first actual physical store, I believe. And so she's going through that. Troy, on the other hand, he is a businessman. He works for her dad, but he also has opened his own barbershop. So he does that, and he also sells his own hair products. So they both strong, independent black people, okay? And I was already loving that, here for it. So they've always been friends. They've been friends a very long time, because he's been in her parents' life a long time. Due to a lot of things going on with his parents, like his father is gone, and he is now taking care of his sick mother. So he has a lot on his plate. He's very stressed out. He's going through a lot, and throughout this, they have always remained friends. He didn't want to take it to another level, because, you know, you don't want to mess up that friendship and that bond you already got. But things take a turn, and I'm just telling you, the things. Sapphira is wild, but he's wilder, because being in her parents' house and doing what they gonna do in her parents' house, he is the epitome of a man who is manly, okay? If you can stand up to her dad, because she loves her dad so much, she even calls herself she calls herself his only child. Or no, she don't say it like that. Like, she got other sisters, but she'll always call him her dad, not our dad. She'll be like, that's my dad. So that's his girl right there. That's his baby girl. So Troy know how much her dad loves her. So being able to stand up to him and let him know, hey, yeah, that's gonna be my girl. I love this girl. I know we've been family a long time. Like, he stands up, and he stands up to her dad so respectfully, but as a man, multiple times throughout this story, to let her know, yeah, he is the one. He is the one. And not being scared. Like, these scenes, Like, it's not even like crazy scenes of spice. It's just how it was presented, if that makes sense. But my mouth was on the floor when they were in her parents' house and they spent the night like they casually probably would do often, but things heat up and it's like, did y'all really just do that? Did y'all really just do that? And I love Savira and her, her spicy ass, because she's like me a little bit. Like, she's giving me in certain ways because her in the games that she comes up with, like, they're gonna be playing a spicy game night, and she's doing this with her sister, and they are playing a spicy game night to turn up the heat. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. But there is a love story in this, and it's some spiciness, and it's everything nice. Okay, I felt like this was great for Christmas because I needed that. I needed that in my life. 5-star. 5-star. Couldn't ask for anything better. I know I'm probably I would say I'm very lenient on my stars or whatever. I don't know. If that book made me ready for more throughout to the very end of that book, and I couldn't stop listening to it, and it was giving me everything, and I could feel the tension, and I'm stopping what I'm doing, having my mouth wide open, and that book was a 5-star. Okay, I couldn't find anything wrong with it. Nothing at all. Okay, did we talk about Only for the Holidays by Abelo Labello? I read that one. I think I've talked about it at the beginning because I was telling you guys I had already started it. I think that was the first Christmas book I read for the month of December, and it was a great way to start off. I'll say that. This one was YA, so that's a lot different from a lot of books that I read. So I found this one very comfortable, very heartwarming to start the month off. Like, it was giving the seasonal feels and Christmas vibes. And anyways, Tia is from the city. Yeah, I do believe. And her boyfriend is going through a break because he wanted to have a break. She's not taking it very well. Then her mother surprises them with a trip to go to the countryside for a Christmas vacation, which they don't usually get to do because they've been poor for a while. But now this opportunity presented themselves. Tia don't want to go because she's trying to fix things with her man. Anyway, Quincy's already living in the countryside, and he just broke up with his girlfriend because she was doing shady things. Now, his parents are having to host the ball that they have every year, and different families get to host it, and this year his family gets to host it, so it's a big deal. They also own like I would say like a hotel, Airbnb. I don't know what they exactly call it over there in London, but Tia is going to his family's place where they're supposed to be staying, but they overbooked them. So yeah, they end up having to fix their mistake, and they let Tia and her family stay in their part of the home. So now he lives across the hall from Tia. He has told everybody that he will have a date for this ball, but he doesn't have one. So as you can guess, they end up fake dating. It was cute. It was really cute, and it was so many moments where you know she can't stand this boy, but he's just a gentleman, so he was always doing cute things, and she's just acting all stuck up. But she has her reasons because she's going through a breakup, and she's not knowing how she's taking it. She's stressed out, and you just get to see them fall in love. Like, you would want to see the perfect kind of love story, but it's not always perfect because there's plenty of little dramatic moments, things happening. Oh, and the way her mama end up going off on her, that was a real mama right there, because she is gonna go off on Tia so hard. It was a great book. I will give a 4.5 stars, and that is only because the ending, I guess I'm kind of used to like more, even though I know it's supposed to be a HEA. It's just ended so like too perfect for me. I don't know. I feel like it should have been a little bit more to wrap up. Sorry. I feel like it should have been a little more to wrap up the end of their story because of how it ended off. I don't know. You will have to read it to understand what I'm trying to say. It just ended like there. But I guess they do Christmas Hallmark movies like that all the time, and that's probably why I don't watch a lot of them. Yeah. Next, I read Second Chance Christmas by Jackal J, and this story follows Faith and Rome Atkins. So Faith, and in the beginning of this book, they're younger. So this is like past, and then it goes to the present time. So she's going through a lot. She has a lot on her plate as a teenager. Her mom is called the town's drunk there, and her father has to take turns basically taking care of this grown woman. And she's always trying to figure out why her mom hated her so much. And if you read them kids, you know school's out, so he's going crazy and they're on Roblox. Anyways, something traumatic happens. She's supposed to be going to prom. This is like a very special night for her. She doesn't take many moments for herself, and then something traumatic happens that night that makes her and Rome break up, and they were supposed to kind of be inseparable. So from that experience, she moves away and vows to never come back to that town because it kind of ruined her life. There's nothing there for her but her dad, and her dad even wanted her to leave and never come back. So that's what she does. Then she ends up a divorced mom of twins. Are they twins? I think they're twins. So her dad gets sick and she ends up coming back to that town to help him. Rome Atkins is still in that town taking care of his now sick mother. So they end up meeting each other again under circumstances, you know, just odd circumstances. You bump into each other and you're like, wow, I let my one true love get away type stuff. So they have a lot to unpack though, because wow, when they were teenagers, what they both had to go through, and even what they're going through now, and not knowing how to forgive themselves and learn that things aren't their fault or was never their fault, you know. They just have to learn from each other, and that time away from each other has made them grow into more mature, more adult people, because now they both lived a life, right? So just learning how to kind of cohabitate under certain circumstances, and how to just learning how to handle the new them. I mean, it wasn't much change for them as people, but their circumstances is a lot. So this was great. I feel like it gave, again, the right amount of drama, the right amount of sadness, because this one was sad, to know what they both experienced and the shocking secrets that come out and making hard life choices. Yeah, it was great. It was really good. I will give it a 4. Let's just do a 4.3 star. Okay, it was really, really good. Really good. It was. I'm trying to see. I can't remember really what makes me want. I just know it wasn't giving me that 5 star. It wasn't giving me 5 star. But it was really good. Next, novel Christmas by Charity Shane. This one is following Saara. And if you go look at her name and how it's spelled, it's very different and unique too. And I like it. Saara and Dorian. So Saara is a writer. She's kind of got writer block or something like that, or her sales are kind of dropping, so her book publisher company is making her write a Christmas book. She hates Christmas books. She doesn't want to write it, but that's the only way that she can stay on the team. So she leaves the town to try to get inspired. So she goes to a town called Santa Claus to get inspired for the holidays, because she has to write this Christmas book by next year, but she has to have, like, you know, your notes and stuff done in a couple of weeks, I think. So she goes there. Dorian is a firefighter slash coach. He does a lot, and it's because he likes to stay busy, because something happened to him, like his wife died, and ever since he hasn't been able to get over it, and he can't even stay in their home that they once had, and this is his way to just get back to the community, and also keeps himself busy. He don't really have anything else to do. He lives in the duplex because he doesn't want to stay in his regular home that he shared with his wife, so he stays in the duplex and he rents out the other half of the duplex. That's where Sahara comes in, and she is staying in the other side of the duplex. So they clash like that, and she already saw him because he was, you know, those little calendars where, you know, you pose, the man posts sexy photos, and he's posing for Santa Claus picture in there, which he did not want to do, but she sees that, like, as soon as she gets into town, and she's already fawning over this man that she's never met because that's how good he looked. And then when she realized, wow, he lives next door, wow, he's actually the person renting me this place, the Airbnb. Yeah, they kind of hit it off. And, you know, you can only imagine what you're going to get out of this story, because this is a man who is still not over his dead wife, and he don't even be looking at other girls like that, and finally having somebody to break down those walls that he's been keeping up. It's going to get deep. So I can say that this was a pretty good book. Like, I would give it a 4. No, I'm giving it a 5 star. I really am, because I don't think there was anything wrong with the story. It was that I read it on Audible, right? So the narrators weren't the it people for me, but I got through it. They were okay, but the story probably was even better if I had, you know, read. People are always acting like you can't. The story was probably even better if I had actually, you know, read it physically. So 5-star, 5-star. I think that is the last Christmas book that I read. Oh no, 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 no. No, I read more Christmas books. We'll go back to the Christmas books because they're the ones that I read on my Kindle. So, most recent book that I have just read and just finished, like yesterday, I'm going to talk about it. I have been looking for the perfect paranormal, supernatural, black romance, and I found it, guys. Did my phone just fall? Yes, it did, but we're going to keep going. It is called Unshaken by Drea Wells, and I have been looking for something that's just so good that was just going to give me that fantasy paranormal feel, and this is it. This is it. I've been listening to it on Audible, but I'm going to read the second one because I like what the narrators bring, but I just feel like I'm going to love it even more if I read it physically. So I plan on doing that because I'm loving this series already. This story, like, it's giving me From, but with like supernatural and Charmed, and it's just like a combination of things. I can't really put my finger on what else because I don't read, or I have not watched a lot of TV that really focuses on demons and angels, except like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Angel. If y'all have any guesses of, let me know because I think I want to check out more of that on TV as well. But anyways, Micah Jones is an angel, supposedly, right? She comes from a family of angels, and she is supposed to, at a certain age, get accepted into their school, their college called Calum Academy. She never gets accepted, and she's starting to wonder what's wrong with her and why they don't want her. Then she gets an invitation to come to a school called Hell's Night Academy, and she ends up going. This is where the From comes in to me, because at night, you cannot be outside or you're going to get slaughtered, okay? Like, you have to be in your house protected, and even then it's kind of a risk sometimes, but you cannot be outside at Hell's Night Academy. That's why it's called that, because at night shit goes down, okay? So she ready for all this shit because she is a trained fighter, and she got powers you wouldn't even imagine. She hasn't even tapped into all her powers, but she's a strong angel, okay? This story is different to me because it follows demons and angels and witches and warlocks more so than it's focusing on vampires and werewolves like a lot of stories follow. So I really like that we're focusing more on their magic and what they can do, even though I love vampire and, you know, werewolf romances. But not only that, this is a reverse harem, and we're not talking about 1, 2, 3. We're going 4, 5, 6. Okay, she has literally 3. They are triplets already. People tied to her, soul ties. Then she finds out she's soul tied to a girl named Esme. But not only that, then she finds out she has a fated mate. But that isn't it, guys. You're just gonna have to read it to find out because it's so much going on in here. And the first book is definitely a 5-star. I'm sorry I'm giving you so many 5 stars, but they're giving it to me, so I got to give it to you. Book is awesome. Pick it up. That's all I'm going to say. That's the last book that I have read. My most recent book. We're going to go to back now. We're going to go to Kindle Unlimited. Nothing for Christmas by Ashante Keys. These are like little short Christmas stories, so I like that to get my like Christmas feels in, but in like a little shorter bit of time. So this story follows Aisha and Corday. Aisha is a sexual liberated girl, and she's pretty wild. She's out there. She's self-aware of herself. She knows what she wants. She's a girl who is not afraid to say, I want that man. Okay, so this is a very different aspect to a story, and I like that because it's the girl kind of chasing the guy, and she's the one that's out there and, like I said, sexually self-aware of herself. And he is more closed off. He's a virgin, and he's kind of a nerd. He's shy. He doesn't do that. He works at a library, and she comes in there with her friend and finds out that that's her friend's brother. So then from that moment, she is pressing this dude so hard for like 2 or 3 days until she finally gets him. But you just have to see what I'm talking about. Oh no, my camera's gonna die. Be right back. So as I was saying, before my camera so rudely died on me, yeah, you get to see her kind of like chasing this man, and he's like, I don't know what to do. I'm kind of scared. She's sending this dude naked pics. She's doing the most. She's doing her big one to try to rile this man up because it's kind of the chase for her. And yeah, you get to see how that unfolds in a very wild way. So if you don't like spice, this is not what you want to read. I'm gonna tell you that, because that's what this book is basically based off of. Christmas spice, okay? And the next one, this one is too. It's a short one, and it's called Last Christmas by Queen T. And this one follows Ginger and Holiday, and I love his name. But anyways, this is based off of a one-night stand. Her boyfriend had just broke up with her. She meets this dude, and on Christmas, she has a one-night stand, never sees him again until she, ends up pregnant 9 months later, right? So she ends up being roommates with his sister. She doesn't tell the sister. So she just has this baby now. Like, the baby is born now. So it's been like over a year later. So, yeah, she ends up going with her friend to visit her family for Christmas, knowing that she secretly has a motive to kind of tell him about his kid now. But she didn't want to mess up kind of their friendship. So that's why she never told the girl, the best friend, that that's basically your nephew. Because I think it's a boy. Train always does this to me. Always. Every time. But she didn't tell. You get to see how her best friend takes the news, how the dude takes the news after you pop up with a baby when the baby's already born. Like, ta-da, I have a baby, and it's yours from a one-night stand. And this is a Christmas story as well, so how do you think that's gonna go? And it's pretty spicy as well. This is an instant love connection. So if you're not into instant love, you probably won't like this. But I liked it. I liked it a lot for a short story. It did what it was supposed to do. And I don't think I rated those two. So we're going to rate those because they are short instant love stories. I would like more of Last Christmas Story, I think. So I'm going to give them both like a 4-star. They're really good, but because they're short and you got to really get to the feels and the feelings fast, I'm going to give the one Nutting for Christmas a 4-star. And I'll give Last Christmas a 4.5 star because it gave more to me than Nutting for Christmas. It made me actually want more of their story, if that makes sense. The Perfect Sister and The Perfect Sister 2 by Desiree. She's the lady who wrote the Maddie Gray series. And I really wanted to check out some of her other work. And I'm telling you, I read these books, and I don't even read books fast. I read these books in like 4 days, and that's a bonus for me because I never have time to actually just sit and read for hours. And I was sitting here for hours reading these books. And when I wasn't reading, I was thinking about what was going to happen. I was dreaming about these books. I don't know why Perfect Sisters had to do that to me, but this story is so unique and so fascinating to me that it was another story. It's like I haven't saw anything like this, so it kept me enthralled the whole time. Perfect Sister, or The Perfect Sister, is about factions and black womanhood. Okay, they take this seriously. They are a cult. They have their own community, and nobody can get out and nobody can get in. These women steal children. They auction children. They will do whatever they can because their community is based off women alone. They do not like men. They shine light on men in a very bad way. Like, men are monsters to them, and they show these women videos and they tell to them that these men will hurt you if you ever come in contact with a male. So they are all based off women. So you can only imagine, like, their thing and their premise is on making more women, so if a woman gets pregnant with a male child, they sell that male child, or they get rid of that male child, and then they make them continue to have babies until they have a girl. They can never keep that male child. The whole thing is only girls, only women. And that's crazy, right? So one of the girls in this story, she was traded and she was stolen. So one of these girls in the story, she was stolen and she's been raised, and now she's kind of like questioning everything. So her and her 2 friends end up sneaking out of the factions or the place for a weekend and seeing the real world. And there's also a second side to this story where we're following different people and different characters. So there's a dude, he's a detective, and he's been looking for his mother his whole life. And he knows that his mother is a part of these factions. And he's kind of just been angry at black women for forever. So he kind of hates black women in a way because nobody has ever showed up for him. And his whole premise is finding his mother, kind of. But I can't tell you any more than that. Let's stop right there. I just know they're going to end up meeting, and then a whole bunch of stuff hits the fan. It's so many secrets, so many storylines, and it's kind of like a TV show, a TV series. And I'm kind of starting to understand her writing a little bit more, that you kind of feel like you're reading a TV show. Now, I wouldn't say, I don't know if you want to pick this up, because the end of Perfect Sisters 2 really made me upset, because there is no Perfect Sisters 3 yet, and we don't know if she's going to make a Perfect Sisters 3. So to read that and end off where we end off, it makes you want so much more of this story, and we don't have that right now, so I'm kind of aggy about it. But both of these books were really freaking good, and they are 5-star to me. Don't play with it, don't play with it, don't play with it. Okay? I've given you a lot of 5 stars. So you got a lot to check out and a lot to think about. Yeah, you do. So this has been a very great way to end off my year, because I was happy pretty much the whole December of every story I've read, because they were all so different, and I felt like I had my palate cleansers of the Christmas books, so that kind of helped in between reading these other books and really just getting back on my fantasy, paranormal, weird kind of dystopian stories. Because I will tell you that Perfect Sisters kind of was giving me Divergent, and like, you know, that mix of the different factions and stuff. But it's also like, that story's wild. That story's crazy. Like, honestly, I'm still thinking about it to this day. I'm thinking about it every night, and how I really wish she would go ahead and just write another one real quick for me, so I won't have to think like this. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. This video is probably already too long. I hope everybody is having an amazing year, and that we're ready to start this new year out with a bang. Like, we got to go crazy this year, okay? And I didn't quite meet my reading goal, so I kind of dropped it. I don't like to tell people that, but it is what it is, because it's just a goal. And if I couldn't make it, I made it as far as I could. I got to, I think, 67 books. I wanted 80, but hey, we did what we could. We did what we did. Be proud of yourself. Pat yourself on the back no matter how many books you read, because there is no competition but yourself. And give yourself grace, because we're reading. We're doing this for fun. And just be happy that we're reading. Let's be happy, guys, about that. So thank you guys for watching this video. As I said before, make sure you subscribe to this channel if you like these videos. I am out. I love you guys. Mwah. Remember how I used to do it, that I was a member of Confidence Club, 'cause that don't last forever.